This is part 2 of my recap of Vermeil in Gold. You can find a link to part 1 in the description below. On their way to school, Vermeil enjoys eating a crepe for the first time. Having been sealed away for hundreds of years, she never had the chance to experience modern food. The students look up at the sky as a formation of dragons fly over. All the students admire the leader of the dragon riders, Chris. Vermeil asks Alto who they are and he explains that they are the Dragon Riders, the same club that Rex belongs to. At school they meet up with Marx, Cheryl and Lilia. Marx explains just how incredible Chris is. Aside from being the leader of the Dragon Riders, she is an executive on the student council and is one of the school's 7 gold-ranked students. Alto is amazed she is already gold-ranked as a student. He wishes he could be like the student council president who is said to be close to platinum rank. Vermeil tells him it's possible while suffocating him. Lilia quickly pushes her away and the two argue over Alto as usual. After class, Lilia vents her frustrations about Vermeil to Cheryl in the change room. She wonders if Vermeil is even human, remembering how she defeated the Cerberus with a single hit, something even a gold-ranked mage wouldn't be able to do. Lilia is suspicious of Vermeil and swears to expose her. Cheryl picks up that Lilia must really like Alto, but this causes her to panic and be flustered. Cheryl encourages her to confess her feelings to Alto. Meanwhile, in the boys' changing room, Vermeil makes a scene, following Alto in as all the boys are changing. Alto is embarrassed and Lilia is jealous Vermeil got to peek at Alto changing. Alto tells them they need to keep a low profile so they don't get in trouble with the student council. Vermeil tells him she will just beat them all and Alto will be gold-ranked in no time. As they walk, the student council appears before them. The trio quickly gets out of the way. As they pass by, Chris glares at Vermeil, wondering who she is. Later, Vermeil sneaks into Alto's shower and attempts to seduce him once again. Rex gets beat up by Chris when she finds out he lost to Alto. She is embarrassed for him to be part of the Dragon Riders as his familiar is just a dinosaur and not a dragon. She continues to beat him and expels him from the Dragon Riders. Alto hears Rex was sent to the infirmary and visits him. Rex's brother blames Alto for being the reason Rex was expelled from the Dragon Riders. Alto realizes what happened. Soon after, Alto heads up to the dueling platform with Vermeil. At the top, they are faced with Chris. Chris gives Alto a chance to back out of the duel, but they are determined to fight. Chris summons her familiar as her dragon appears. Alto calls out to Vermeil and she supercharges his mana. As Lilia looks on in horror, Alto launches his crystal attack impressing Chris, but she is able to stop it with a single blast of her magic. She fires again and Vermeil is forced to block the attack. As the flames clear, Vermeil is okay but has taken some damage. Chris continues with a rapid-fire barrage of fireballs. Vermeil blocks all the blasts and drops to the ground. Alto tries to counterattack with his crystals, but Chris shatters them all. Chris is impressed by Alto's skill, but more impressed with how Vermeil can take her attacks head-on. Vermeil gives Alto even more of her power, allowing him to launch a huge barrage of crystals at Chris. The attack lands and there is a huge explosion. Alto is relieved it's over, but Chris rises, riding on her dragon. She boasts that dragons are the ultimate beings and all others are inferior. She rains fireballs down from above at them, while Vermeil continues to shield Alto and tells him to build up his mana. Determined to prove her wrong, Vermeil supercharges Alto again and he launches a huge crystal attack. Chris shatters it but loses sight of Alto. Using the shards of crystal, Vermeil leaps up to Chris. Before Chris can react, Alto holds a crystal to her throat and wins the duel. All the students cheer for Alto and he becomes popular with the ladies, causing Lilia to become even more jealous. One of the teachers, Professor Obsidian, appears and lectures Alto not to take duels so lightly. He congratulates Alto on his win and leaves as all the ladies follow him. Alto asks Lilia if she is also into him, but she is insulted by the suggestion. Chris meets with Rex and he is surprised she is doing her own chores. She apologizes to him, but he is shocked to hear such words from her. Rex takes over the chores and the two make up. Later that night, Vermeil tries to seduce Alto again, but he says one should only kiss someone they love, so she says that she loves him, which shocks Alto. The next day, Alto worries while Vermeil appears refreshed. Alto remembers Vermeil telling him she loves him and turns completely red. He goes to see Professor Obsidian and asks if demons can fall in love with a human. Obsidian tells him that demons only want humans for their mana. During dinner, Alto confronts Vermeil, asking if she only loves him for his mana. Vermeil comforts him, she proves herself and kisses him without draining his mana. Vermeil tells him he should try to kiss her, but he can't bring himself to do it. The next day, Alto is happy having resolved his feelings toward Vermeil. He apologizes to Professor Obsidian for his strange question about demons. But the professor is just happy to see that Alto is feeling better. Later, Obsidian meets with a female student in private. She tells him that she loves him and he embraces her. However, he holds a suspicious-looking syringe. The girl is later discovered frozen in her room. The rumor of this incident spreads. The girl was rescued but left in a coma. The student council investigates the attack. The vice president Ryuga Shinuji and executive Jessica Schwartz discuss the incident, revealing this to be the third incident of a student being put into a coma. Meanwhile, Alto measures Vermeil because in class, they were tasked with writing a report about their familiars. Vermeil gets undressed for Alto to measure her while Lilia's familiar spies on them. Lilia is outside his room with Cheryl and her familiar reports what it saw, and Lilia is outraged. Lilia has another invisibility potion and a copy of Alto's key. She leaves her clothes with Cheryl and sneaks into the boys' dorm. She unlocks Alto's door and sneaks into his room. Alto walks right up to her, causing her to panic, but he just grabs a book. In his search for the right book, Alto touches Lilia without noticing, leaving her stunned. Alto completes his report, listing the things that Vermeil likes, such as crepes, but Vermeil adds to the list, writing down Alto's name. Meanwhile, Chris and her dragon are defeated by a seemingly possessed Rex and his mutated dinosaur. But that's the end of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss part 3 when it's ready. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.